I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs, Ideas for Dinner, just with the letters in the wrong order, sort of. Today, we're going full on Florida as we make a meal out of, yep, you guessed it, the good old Gator. If one falls in your pool, turn it into this, Gator tail Mofongo with salsa criolla sauce and a salsa verde. Welcome to Dinner DeeAs. My guest today is swapping the comedy club for the kitchen. St. Pete's Juanita Lolita is a stand-up who's standing out for all the right reasons. She just won Sherry Shepherd's nationwide search for funny women over 50. Congratulations, winner.
Thank you.
Come on now. How cool is that?
It's crazy exciting. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. It's like, you're funny. Woohoo, you're over 50. Oh, no.
Well, if you didn't see Juanita on the show, here's a taste of the comedy chops that won her the contest.
I got to thinking, it really is kind of crazy, everything women do to look good these days. You ever thought about it? We do everything from A to Z. Airbrush, Botox, collagen, diets, emulsifiers, facials, girdles, hoisted, jerked, injected, kaled, lipoed, microderm, nipped, operated, peeled, coiffed, rhinoplasty, sucked, tucked, underwired, vex, wax, exfoliated, yanked, and Zumba. It's true, right? Isn't that crazy? We do all that, and we're happy if a man will take a shower.
It's the truth. At least we use soap. I mean, that's at least a start somewhere.
On a Saturday.
More importantly, you're back on Sherry's show next week, so we wanted to cook you up something special to send you up on your way to the Big Apple. And you said on the Sherry show you're half hillbilly, half Puerto Rican, and gators and plantains was part of your menu request.
It was. I figured we needed to bring in all the cultures, every single one of them.
I love it. I love it. Because we're going to have a lot of fun today with this one here because I thought of a recipe for you, which is going to be a gator tail mofongo with a beautiful salsa criolla sauce and a salsa verde.
Just so you know, I only understood one of those things.
Hey, that's
Gator. All the rest of it, I have no idea what he's talking about. But it's going to be good.
It's going to be good, and we've got the full show to be able to walk
right.
you through it because now we're going to learn all of it together. And the first step that we're going to do is we're going to do this beautiful salsa criolla sauce. So what I'd love for you to do is to help me is let's take a little bit of some olive oil here. And we're going to add that straight into our saucepan here. And then what I want you to do is add in our peppers. So we got some just beautiful bell peppers, some green, some yellow, and some red peppers. And we're just going to take a spoonful worth into our pan here. Very nice, very nice.
It's pretty.
It's going to absolutely be beautiful. And this is going to be the base for this mofongo to sit on, which is going to be really, really nice.
Are you making that word up, or is mofongo real? Is that a real word?
You tell me. I mean, I thought that was part of, like,
You know what?
the background.
I don't know.
Oh, now it comes out. Now it comes out.
They're going to take away my mofongo card, I guess. I don't know, because I got no clue what that means.
And I just have the honorary title of that one for today, because the Irish boy's trying to, like, do that one. So, I mean, we're getting all the cultures into this bad boy here. All right, so then all I want you to do next here is if we could take that red chili pepper. Now, this here is where you can add a little bit, you can add a lot. You could add no seeds, you can add all the seeds. I have de-seeded this, and we can be able just to add what you kind of want. So, no picante there.
No,
like,
just because my name is Juanita doesn't mean I can do that kind of stuff.
All right, so then let's just
another thing they're going to take my card away for. Okay, thanks for bringing this up. It's all hillbilly from this point on. Okay.
We're getting to that part later. All right, so let's just take that wooden spoon here and just give this nice little stir so we can start really getting all the oil and coating.
The wooden spoon had a lot different growing up as well.
Well, for us, we cook with it. I mean, like, you know. And we're going to add in our white onions as well here. So we're just going to add a little bit of some onions into it there. And again, about another spoon.
That's where my daddy would just eat these.
He would just eat the onions?
He would eat onions with everything.
You know, I've actually heard people doing that. They would treat it like almost like an apple. We got a little bit of the pinch bowls there with just a little salt and a little pepper.
Oh, because I saw you do
this. Is that moment right now where it all comes together.
Look at that. More or is that more?
That is perfect because we can always adjust as we want, but we just want to have that little base. We got the salt. Let's add a little bit of pepper in there.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So let's go ahead and add just a little bit of some garlic in here. So we just got some minced garlic.
That's a spoon again?
Yep, perfect.
Back to the spoon?
Back to the spoon.
How much do we put in there?
You know, if you just did that right there, perfect amount. So that was, you know, about a tablespoon or so. Let's take that wooden spoon, stir it all together.
Okay.
Perfect time to add in our tomato sauce.
All of it?
Yes, please. And then also the Sazon, which is a little bit of that seasoning over there, which is going to be perfect up here in the corner. Yep, we're going to add all of that straight in. Boom.
Nice.
And then a little bit of the oregano. That one right there.
One?
Yep.
The green one.
That's it. We're going to add a little bit of some dried oregano, and we're going to give that back a nice little stir here.
All right.
Let's go ahead and add that cilantro straight into it. To get our Gator on your table tonight, grab the recipe at dinnerdeas.com. We've got the ingredients, the amounts, the directions, all ready for you to print. And all you need to do is grab your phone, open your camera up as if you're about to snap a photo, and point it down there. That's our QR code. And when your phone sees it, a link to us will appear. And that's it. Perfect.
That's
Cilantro
amazing.
straight in it. Let's just put the lid on.
Okay.
And all we're going to do is just going to drop this down to a low, let that simmer, and all those flavors are going to come together. We need a little bit of some brightness and some acidity. So what we're going to be doing is starting this beautiful salsa verde. So what we have here is going to be just our peppers. We're going to char them. If you don't have the grill ready to go up, you can use the broiler. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So what I would absolutely love for you to do here, if you could help me, pour this right over for me on just a little bit over everything, if you don't mind. Because I'm going to just kind of toss these together. And again, if you don't have the grill ready to fry up, that's fine, because what we're going to do is just get a little bit of oil, and all I'm going to do here on the sheet pan, if you don't mind, open up the our broiler here, and we're just going to kind of monitor this, because we're just going to put this straight into the top there, and then we're just going to keep it just slightly open a little bit, because we want to smell what's happening there as well, so that we don't burn. And now we're going to go straight into what's going to become this mofongo. The base of it and the star of it is always got to be the plantains. And you can abuse it, which we're going to be doing with a mortar and pestle in a little bit. So, you like plantains?
We're sweating those, now we're abusing the plantains.
We're just letting out all the emotions of everything. What we're going to do here is we're just going to take the tops off of it on both sides here, okay? So we got the top and the bottom off of the plantains, and you can literally throw these away. And the trick to this part here is you want to use a paring knife for this one here, because you want to be able to control it in one hand, the paring knife in the next, and all you want to do is just go straight down, so you're just really kind of breaking the top of them. I like to go in 4, so I just spin it around, and all I'm just doing is just taking it all the way down. Now, if you don't want to go into 4s, you don't have to. But what I like about that is now it creates really nice areas for me just to peel back this plantain. And so I know that I'm going to be having nice 4 equal portions here to just rip right off. And then this allows me the opportunity to just slice them up into, using the same paring knife, 1-inch slices here. And I just work it all the way down.
Tom, stop you. You're on a roll.
You come back here, you roll back into this direction. Now, what I already did earlier today was I soaked them in a little bit of salt water. We then boiled them, and all we're gonna just do here is we're just gonna slowly add them into our oil here. And I wanna keep this up, and I've been monitoring with a candy thermometer because I really wanna keep them just above 400 degrees or so as kind of that base to kind of work with here, because I really want these to take on some color, take on a little bit of texture too. While our plantain fries up, we're taking a break. Ahead, my tip for how to make Gator taste, well, greater. And here's a clue. The magic's in the marinade. That's ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. My guest today is normally behind a mic stand rather than behind a kitchen island. Juanita Lolita is not just any stand-up. She just won Sherry Shepherd's nationwide comedy contest, Funny Over 50. And before she makes a triumphant return visit there, she stopped by our show to cook up a dinner idea celebrating her heritage. Half Puerto Rican, half hillbilly. We're making this gator tail mofongo with a salsa criolla sauce and a salsa verde. Before the break, we started our sauce sauteing up some onions, some green peppers, the red peppers, yellow peppers. We brought all the peppers together. We then added ground black pepper, minced garlic, added tomato sauce, and a little Sazon seasoning there. Added some oregano, fresh cilantro. While that simmered, we oiled and broiled our peppers using avocado oil and putting them under the broil to char. And after all that, we still had time to prep our plantains. We sliced them, we soaked them, we parboiled them, we even fried them, we even pulled them out from the fryer, and we hit them with just a little bit of salt. How do they look?
They look amazing, and thank you for saying to put the salt on them when they come out. I would have never known that.
That's a little bit, and
Nice.
it's just gonna really kind of bring a little bit more flavor. And speaking of flavors, let's go ahead and start with this base sauce, the salsa
I've been
criolla.
wanting to. It smells amazing.
It's a fun one, and because we
does.
started with all these flavors to come at the beginning, now you get to have that little joy and reward now.
Oh my gosh.
How's the flavor? Is it good?
Oh my God.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
Toot, everybody.
I almost
like that.
slapped it. It's that good.
It's that good?
I almost slapped it.
Heat-wise, where are we at right now? Because again, we put a little bit of some chili pepper, but again, you didn't have to put the seeds. We didn't. You don't want to put the peppers in? You don't need to.
No, it's absolutely perfect. Honestly, I was, even though I have the name Juanita, I am really not good with heat, so I was a little worried about it. Not at all. This is fantastic.
Awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
So that's going to be our base, but then we also want to bring a little bit.
It right.
We got a little bit of the base.
All right,
oh, actually, no.
go.
You got to come and drop back on like the right leg and be boom. That's
there
it.
You go.
Now, see, now we're learning it together.
Now we got it.
All right. So now let's have some fun together with what we've got here with those peppers that we put underneath the broil.
Yes.
And again, if you don't have a grill to do that, the broiler is perfect to be able to do. We've already chopped them up, and we just did a rough chop to put them inside our blender. And if you could help me, please, we're going to add a little bit of some arugula and the cilantro.
Much am I
go
putting
straight
in
right
there?
in. Let's
All
go
of
have
it?
some fun with it.
All of it?
All of it.
Oh.
The moment to shine. And what's really nice is the cilantro is going to bring a nice freshness
Smells
behind
so
it.
good.
The arugula is going to bring a nice little bit of pepperiness behind it. And what we also want to add to it there are a little bit of lemon juice and the zest.
Which I loved watching you do this. I
Yeah?
had no idea. He was rolling that lemon down and squeezing it. And I'm like, what'd the lemon ever do to you? I was a little worried. But he said that's how you get the juices out. And sure enough, because as soon as you cut it,
It was just exploding.
oh my gosh, it was
just
awesome.
exploding.
And then the zest.
The
same.
zest.
I had no idea.
And it's
how you do
perfect
the
because
zest.
if you get
All
a
this is
microplane,
one?
all of it, because that's going to have all these beautiful concentrated flavors of the lemon, and we're just getting all
Yum,
these
yum.
natural oils out of it, and that's going to be a little bit of salt, just a little pinch.
When I do this, because I look like a chef. There we go.
I love it. I love it. And just a little bit of some black pepper. Okay. And then the last piece, we're just going to add in our olive oil here.
Olive wine?
And the white wine, did you not put the white wine vinegar? No, we didn't. That was my fault. My bad. It's my bad there.
How can you, because it's like,
all clear.
You have no idea.
It's all clear.
It's all clear.
It's all clear. So we're just going to put a little bit of white wine vinegar. And again, it's just going to bring a nice little burst of some flavor in the acidity that we're looking for.
The smells are awesome.
For a magnificent meal like this for your dinner, you know what to do. Grab the recipe with all the amounts, ingredients, and directions at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner of your screen to get there. And that's it. What's going to be sitting on that is actually the gator tail.
Really?
It's the gator tail.
On that, you did the green to look like the grass. Nice.
It's got to go somewhere, right?
Bring it full circle, right back home again.
It's all about home because gator is part of, what you said. Hey, like I want to eat some gator.
Yeah, that's my heritage.
So you grew up with gator?
I grew up with gator. My daddy would do it. He would actually trap gators with his hands.
Really?
Flip them over on their back. You rub their belly. They fall asleep, and then he would.
These were just wild gators. This is the whole when we go to when we go everywhere where they say don't pet the gators. Your dad was that guy that was petting the gators.
Yeah, he was that guy. He
Total
would
different era.
them and,
but this gator needs a little love right now because
It
does. You know what it needs a little love from? Buttermilk.
Thank God it wasn't me. Okay. We didn't go over this.
That part wasn't planned. But just the buttermilk. And why the buttermilk is because it's the lactic acids. So the lactic acids are going to help break down and tenderize this beautiful tenderloin so it can be really, really nice to take on a breading.
Yum.
If you didn't do that, you had the potential to have a really tough, chewy gator, and no one really wants that. You really want to have a beautiful, succulent, juicy bite. This is the way to do this. Now, if you want to just put a little plastic wrap on this for me there, we want to let this marinate, and ideally speaking, you want to let it marinate overnight. This is really for all of the lactic acids to really do its thing and break down all the proteins and the enzymes there, and that's really going to tenderize it so beautifully. So while our meat marinates, we're taking a break. Not overnight. We'll be back a bit sooner than that. And when we come back, how to fry up these bad boys and bring our whole meal together ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. Today's guest is normally cooking up laughs for a living. Juanita Lolita is a comedian on the rise. She's won Sherry Shepherd's Funny Over 50 and is making a pit stop with us before she joins Sherry back on her show next week. We've been making a meal celebrating her heritage by request. I've written a recipe for a gator tail mofongo with a salsa criolla sauce and a salsa verde. Before the break, we blended up the peppers we broiled along with cilantro, garlic, arugula, lemon zest, and juice, a little bit of olive oil, white white wine vinegar, and we marinated our gator, soaking it in buttermilk overnight, which is absolutely a non-negotiable. It is vital to be able to do this because now it is ready to be dredged in nice seasoned flour. So, you want to help me on this one?
Sure, let's do this.
All right, so let's take some of our gator tail into our flour so we get a really nice coating here.
How many pieces should I do? Does it really matter?
You know, we're going to do these in batches, and so what you feel comfortable with, yeah, we can go a little bit more in there because we can always stir it around and get a nice little bit of a coating, but we want to be able to really have motion inside so we can be able to stir and get it well incorporated. So
I see what you're saying.
you don't want to go too much, but you also don't want to go too little either. And what we could also have fun with is that slotted spoon too.
This is considered fun.
Yes, that is actually fun. That is actually kind of fun for me.
You and your wife need to get out more. This is considered fun. With a slotted spoon. Not the slotted spoon.
Not the slotted spoon. How about a ladle?
That's only on Fridays. Okay.
Perfect.
Do I need more than that?
No, that's perfect. And what we want to do is we just want to kind of go straight into our oil. And what's really nice is that
that's hot oil.
It is hot oil, but we know that we also have, and we want to be able to just monitor and make sure that it's going to not splash too much, and we want to make sure that we get as much of the coating off of it as possible. All that flour to kind of come through all of that, so that way then we get a nice golden brown.
And the slotted spoon.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, lovely. Wow, awesome.
All right, and we're gonna just get a couple more pieces because we're gonna monitor this as well because we're looking for a nice golden
I'm having
brown.
fun with the slotted spoon.
I love it, and you're gonna have as much fun with the Mofongo too. So that's perfect. So we can just do this as the first batch.
Okay.
And what we're looking here for.
Should I do these other ones or no?
You can, absolutely. You want to go, if we got a couple more in there, sure, why
I
not?
don't want to, like...
No gator left behind.
And no gator left behind.
And the one thing that we want to make sure that we do, though, every time that we put anything into the oil, is you don't want it to clump up together because you want to be able to have that area. So what I like to do is spread it out in the oil so I can make sure I get enough of that. And what we're going to do here, so we got a really hot oil too, is we're just going to monitor it, and we can just kind of get the ones out that we really want. That is that beautiful color.
Yeah, that's nice.
And what we can actually do is let that rest on a plate with a paper towel. All right, so we've got that first batch of the gator tail resting over there. We're gonna let that be because now we get to have fun with
We should always let gators be.
Just let them be. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So wow. Okay.
So we had these beautiful plantains that we had cooked up earlier, and what I'd love for you to help me do is make the mofongo together. Let's go ahead and just get like a nice handful of our plantains into the middle here.
Hands are washed. Hands are washed.
Hands are washed. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna help here because I'm gonna take a little bit.
To mash. Am I
yeah.
mashing?
Yep.
Holy.
Let that aggression out. Really pound away. Tenderize and go.
Oh my Lord, I didn't even have to work out today.
This is that workout part because I'm actually going to come and help you on this part because what I'm going to do here is I've got just a little bit of some margarine, a little bit of some garlic, some oregano, the Sazon, and what this is going to do is as you're mashing some of these plantains up, I'm going to bring a little bit of liquid behind it. Okay. So this is going to hydrate it back up a little bit and make it a little bit easier to kind of smooth it all out and incorporate our plantains into the mix.
Okay.
When we come back, we taste test. And remember, we don't want it to taste funny ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Today my guest is Juanita Lolita. You've probably seen her stand up on Sherry where she won Funny Over 50, a nationwide talent search, and she's taking victory lap on that same show here on Fox 13 next week. Today she's pressed pause on dishing up the one-liners to dish up an idea for dinner which celebrates her heritage and perfect for any Florida man or woman. Gator tail mofongo with a salsa Creole sauce and a salsa verde. And I play with that salsa verde on the plate. So that way then if you don't want to have that heat, you can like, you know, dip it in, dip it out. I don't, you know, you're just kind of like playing double dutch with it.
I have to ask you, how do you make Gator look so, you know, like exquisite? This is Gator. This is Gator.
This is the Gator, but you actually.
It looks phenomenal.
You actually did it. You did it. All I did was.
Right. This is my show.
That is exactly because all I did was just literally put the Gator with the marinade.
Tell me what to do. Typical man.
I don't know about that one, okay? I don't know what men you're hanging out with, but in my crew, we just have fun with everybody, and we've had so much fun with you. But now we got to taste it. So
I'm excited.
Let's go straight into it. So,
okay, where do I even begin?
Literally wherever you want to start, because like I'm going for the Gator first, personally, because I am all things on the Gator.
I have to do the mofongo because I have no idea what that is. Oh my goodness!
You like it?
Very good. My mother should have made this for me like she was supposed to. And the sauce underneath. I forget which one that went because you called them all these weird names that I have no idea what they are.
We had that beautiful salsa criolla that we had started. That you did.
That's the red one?
That's the red one on the base.
Oh, so good. So
You
good.
did that one.
I did it all.
And that
I
was
don't
just
even know
with
why you're here.
To help bring delight, that it was the peppers, the onions, the garlic, the Sazon, and just bring all these beautiful flavors together. The tomato sauce that really is that nice base, those traditional flavors that you would want to really kind of bring this out. And then you have that beautiful salsa verde.
So good.
This is something that could be.
Reminds me of Daddy.
This reminds you of
my
Dad?
Well, not all that stuff, but the Gator.
But isn't that fun how food can do that? It just brings you back into a nostalgic
does.
piece where it's just, you know, it's what you
does.
know. It's that comfort. It's that whole piece of you coming through to cook for others and to share what you have. Mine is sharing the gift of food. Yours is sharing the gift of laugh. And that's something that we all need.
Oh, thank you.
I
Yeah,
love
this
it.
is awesome. I lost my dad 10 years ago, so this is amazing.
Well, then we get to celebrate him here
We
and
do.
Have some fun with it. Thanks again to my partner in plaid,
We're starting a movement.
Juanita Lolita. We are so excited for you to go back out to Sherry. Have
Thank
some fun
you.
with this one here.
Thank you.
And folks, the recipe is at dinnerdeas.com. And don't forget, if you make this dish, take a picture. We'd absolutely love to see it.
Make it.
I'm Jeff Philbin.
So good.
Thanks for watching.
I'm not even eating. I hope it's
I'm
okay.
going for it too.